Hey, welcome back everybody. Back on Gary's engine. I've got the original carburetor back. It was a disaster in there. It was never going to run. The jet was way oversized. The internals weren't assembled correctly. I don't know where this carburetor came from, and I don't know who put it together incorrectly the first time or the second time. But it was never going to run. Now, Gary, when you sent me this engine back, you had a plug in here. Okay, this carburetor is not going to run if you plug that. Right now, I have an inverted flare fitting on there, as you can see. Don't plug this up. This goes from here. Your crossover tube will be somewhere in here. That gets plugged into your crossover tube. I know you said you have all your original stuff for the air cleaner. So this guy into your crossover tube, and then that takes off to your air cleaner. Make sure this is open. The carb won't work if that's plugged. The carburetor is now fully rebuilt. And I'm going to fire it up today. And once we get this carburetor tuned in, I could disassemble this out of the stand and ship it back to Gary. So let me get some fuel on the scene, and we'll give this guy a fire up. Okay, Gary, here's your engine running on your original carb. I'm alone today. I don't have anybody helping, so I got to do everything camera and the engine. 42 pounds at idle. Good oil pressure. Carb is running nice and smooth. I'll let it warm up, make a couple adjustments if it needs it. And this engine is done. So just wanted to have you see it running on the carburetor. Couple pulls for you. Comes right back down to idle. And there you go. It's running just fine. Okay, Gary, just want to show you it's hanging in there perfectly at 180. We got a 180 fail-safe thermostat in there. It's hanging in perfect. And carburetor's adjusted. Takes fuel perfectly. It's adjusted. You may have to make just a little bit of adjustment once you get the air restricted through your air cleaner. You may need to make just a tiny adjustment. Everything's dialed in just like I want it. I'm going to shut her down now. And okay. I'm going to get this cooled down. Water drained out of it, and get it back in your crate and get it back to you. So no troubles here. Everything is fine. I know you had feelings that the engine was not rebuilt properly. Sorry that you felt that way, but that's not the case. It was the carburetor. All the internals are fine, like all my engines are. I take great pride in putting quality engines together. So I know you thought you had no compression, and then you thought the timing was off, but that's just not the case. You see it running, firing up. Because of this particular engine, I may insist on starting motors. You know, a lot of guys just say they can start anything, and that just leads to problems. I had some guys overheat engines real bad. I've had issues like this where stuff that I didn't touch was the problem, but naturally, as soon as something goes wrong, the engine builder is blamed. I don't really appreciate that, so I may have a new policy where I may want to start everybody's engine. Yeah, it's going to add to the cost, but it's going to save a lot of headache down the road. And now I know this engine is good. It's got probably, between the other carburetor and this carburetor, it's probably got an hour of runtime on it. I'm completely confident of it. And, you know, some guys can put stuff together, diagnose it, address the problem, and keep going. Some guys can't, and I'm trying to nip that in the bud, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get that where I don't send engines to the other side of the country and then have them come back. That's just a waste of money and shipping. I mean, it's over $600 to get this one way. So it's just a waste of time and money. Takes up space in the shop. It prevents me from rebuilding other engines. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to go, but if I don't feel that you can properly start your engine, I may not take the job if you don't want me to start it. I think that's going to have to be the new policy. I think everyone's going to have to go in the test stand, and I'm going to have to start it. But let me know what you guys think about that. You know, I hate to have it that way because I know there's a lot of good guys out there, a lot of good mechanics that can do stuff. They just can't or don't want to rebuild their own engine, and they can start it fine. And then there's a whole bunch of people that can't actually start their engines. And that's, I don't like the backlash, you know, that comes on me because there's an electrical problem or there's a carburetor problem or something like that. So, I'm going off on a tangent here. Engine is done, Gary. It's coming back to you, and it's running perfect. There's nothing wrong with this, and you can put it in your Jeep and be happy with it. Remember, do not plug this. Don't plug that fitting. I can't stress that enough. You'll be back into a situation where the engine doesn't start again. I'm just going to put a piece of tape around that. Untape it, start your engine, do whatever you want. I have just water in here now, which I'm going to drain out. A couple of head bolts started to seep. I don't know if they are going to seal up on their own. Like I said, a little bit of sealer in there when you start it and you get your antifreeze in there. That will keep you from having water seep out. So, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you on the next video.